Our areas of emphasis are advanced energy, aerospace medicine, homeland security, and then finally other non-NASA space and aviation applications. And it can be either from a technology perspective or from a test and evaluation perspective using Glenn facilities. So here's some of the business pursuits we've been working on. I talked to you about the flywheels. We've also worked with, if you can notice, there's a open rotor that's showing up in the middle of this chart, shown in our 9x15 wind tunnel. And if you're have read Popular Mechanics or Aviation Week over the last 20 years, the open rotor was actually first tested back in the 80s as a system that could save a considerable amount of fuel in jet aircraft. The problem was that it does two things. It doesn't look very nice when you look out the window, and then secondly, it makes a lot of noise. So we've been working with our industry partner, General Electric in this case, to see if we can, using current technology, not only capture the fuel burn improvement, but also find ways to reduce the noise so that these systems could be used in commercial aircraft. Not sure if you're aware of it, but commercial aviation is the largest user of imported oil in this country. So finding ways of improving fuel burn on aircraft is critically important to our economy, and it's critically important if we want to stay, leaders in the export of commercial aircraft from this country. Okay, so we've been working harder on technology transfers. Last year, I think it was in October, we had an automotive technology showcase working with the Center for Automotive Research and other automobile manufacturers across the state of Ohio. It was a pretty successful show. It was a small one by a lot of standards. We did it in our aircraft hangar at NASA Glenn Research Center, but we're hoping to do that again. We followed that up with a technology showcase that we held at the Marriott in November, and it was a very well received technology showcase. I think from the two shows we were able to create about 90 new potential leads of opportunities to transfer Glenn technologies to commercial, for commercial use. So we think it was a very effective use of our time. And then more importantly, we're here today, and we're hoping that some of you might show an interest in some of the things that you see, or if you don't see it, please ask my people if they have anything that they think might help you solve a technical problem or create a new business opportunity, because we can't bring everything from the Glenn Research Center here to the Galleria, and so there's probably a few things that aren't going to be necessarily on display that may potentially be available for you to take advantage of. So we've also relocated our visitor center. It used to be on the Glenn campus. That created a lot of problems for me because, as everybody knows, with heightened security concerns, bringing a lot of members of the general public through the gate, isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do. So we've developed a partnership with the Great Lakes Science Center. Highly encourage you to, if you have the time, to go to the Great Lakes Science Center. We show you some of the statistics, but basically we're doing 4 to 7 times more outreach. Our message is getting out a lot better to the community, and hopefully inspiring young people to pursue careers, in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. And so let me show you a few things that we think could potentially align with manufacturing capabilities. I mentioned earlier about our combustion, and that's in our air breathing propulsion technology area. We have a lot of capability here, both analytic and test capability. So a lot of researchers working on problems in combustion. If you're in any kind of business, whether, in fact, I will share this with you. We had a problem a couple of years ago with a boiler system on the lab, and we were not meeting EPA requirements due to the fact that we had a very inefficient combustor in our boiler. And so I asked our guys, I says, hey, if we can build an aircraft engine that burns less fuel, can't we build a boiler that could burn less fuel? And obviously the technologies are very directly applicable. So while on the surface it may not sound like it's similar, combustion is basically a fuel, an oxidizer, and a combustion process that occurs to release energy. So we have a lot of combustion capability, and I would definitely encourage you to pursue that if you think there's a need for it. In the materials area, we have a considerable capability here. At one time, we really thought it was a secondary capability. We've done a pretty hard self-look, and it really has come down to the way we differentiate ourselves in communications, propulsion, and in power storage and generation is through our capabilities in materials. So we have an extensive capability in basically looking at material substitution, protective coatings, wear and lubrication solutions, non-destructive evaluation. As you all know, we need to understand how these things are actually working, life prediction, failure mode determination, advanced material concepts, and material selection. And this goes across a broad array of capabilities at NASA Glenn. We have some modeling capabilities, and I won't read the chart to you, but basically all the analytic tools that are required to evaluate a system before you actually put it into service. We have the ability to model those systems, perform the analysis using either thermal tools, fluid mechanics tools, computational fluid dynamics, loads, stress, whatever analytic tool you need. And so then we're also working on the Adopt a City initiative, particularly here with the city of Cleveland, which is one of the 6 cities that was selected for the Adopt a City initiative. And I believe the city of Cleveland has put out the solicitation, competitive solicitation. They'll make selections, I think, in the May time frame. And we have a partnership with the city of Cleveland, an agreement that we would provide some technical support associated with that Adopt a City initiative. And so what we're going to provide to proposals that are selected is access to subject matter experts, and it can be across any one of the technical areas we work in, to basically assist the winning proposer in resolving a technical challenge that's required to be solved to get a product to market. And they're going to receive, as a minimum, 40 hours of support, and we're going to do that for up to 10 selected proposals. Now, the city's asked me if we select 11, are we saying no to the 11th? My point to you is if there's a good proposal and we believe we can, help, then we're not here to turn the 11th person away. So, and similarly, if there are people in this at this conference that are working on a product and think that we have an ability to help them solve a technical product, working through our partnerships office, access to, NASA support is available to you as well. So, And the big thing is our people are not in your business, so they do bring some different perspectives to potentially solving your problem. And the good part of it is it would be no charge to you if we work through the proper agreements. So finally, I'll share with you as an undergraduate engineer in aerospace engineering and then a graduate student, one of my things that I really was hoping to grow up and do as a engineering student was to get into manufacturing and make chips. I mean, there's nothing that I like better than going into a shop and seeing things being made. And, you know, in this country, we've gotten away from making things. And the things we do make tend to be, you know, the best in the world. And, you know, I don't care whether it's an automobile, if it's a motorcycle, if it's an airplane, you know, actually seeing raw materials, you know, raw ideas, you know, roll out of a plant because of somebody's ability to conceive it and then make it. You know, that's what this country was really built upon. That's how our economy became as strong as it is. And frankly, if we want to, you know, maintain our standard of living and the security that we enjoy, manufacturing is definitely a part of that solution. So.